Oh no.
The classic forget to unmute. Good afternoon, everybody. How is everybody doing? Hope everyone's doing well. We were just over on Savage channel. Me and Ben were. Steve was on there for a little bit, so I've brought them along with me and all you guys. So big guys. Hope you're doing well. Let's see who we're doing here. Ty Garo, by the way, this morning, new member. Big up Ty Garo. Thank you so much. And obviously, to be a member, there's a little button down there that says click join next to the subscribe button. But Ben, you'll do an absolute wonder if you can just put the membership thing in there and join the membership club. That will be amazing. Thanks so much. All right, I hope you're in there. Thanks for your name. Much love to you. There he is. Look at him. Phil P's over here, the first man over here. Much love. Big up, Joe. Guys, loads of you in there. I may not be able to read all of you out. Let's see. Hot God. Insider trading. We love insider trading. Big up. Big up, Kate. Hope you're doing well. Everyone go over and subscribe to Kate, who is going on after this. So that I think I've set the redirect up for her. So you guys can then go straight over and speak to her and see what she says. Guys, there's much love to you guys all in here. Any questions? Be amazing if you could. I did see one quick thing in here. I massively disagree with it, and I am going to pull it up for a second, and then we'll get into the show. Jimmy said channels are all echo chambers, same friends and mods, insecure. Listen, one thing I will say here, we don't all have the same opinion. We all share it. We are friends. Yes, you're right. We are all friends. The whole community. We work together to help each other out. Savage very kindly sent you guys over here. We're just here to help. We talk about things. We try and I try and make this show about you guys. I always say to you guys, put your questions in and we try and go through them. If there's something you want to talk about, you guys talk about, we'll do. But don't come in here and say that we're echo chambers. The one thing I made a rule of, and these guys all know it, the rule I had was no echo chambers on this show. If you have a different opinion, you're welcome on the show. I only make the rule. I only let you on unless you have the camera on. You don't, and you're just not silly about it. You're welcome. Anyone is welcome onto this show. I always say that. That's why it's the phone-in show. You're welcome on.
Your mic has got a bit of interference, Perch.
Oh, sorry about that. I think there's a problem with my connection at the moment, which is causing a bit. I do apologise. Sorry. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah.
All we know is, Perch, this person has been making loads of fake accounts, going around all the channels, accusing everyone.
Listen. We're not going to get into all that stuff. There's no need.
Of course, but we're not an echo chamber. But
I want people.
There's a man above me that doesn't even support Tottenham.
Of course, and I like
an echo chamber.
Steve comes on and gives his valid opinions on stuff. Listen, before we do anything else, guys. Someone's saying it's perfect. Is Ty Garo saying it's a bit bad? Is the sound? If it sounds bad, let me know and I'll try and fix it.
Yeah.
Let's get your questions. Ty Garo, I've just picked this one absolutely at random. Given the events of the last 36 hours, we should be distancing ourselves from any Paratici links at all costs. What's coming about Paratici? I'll be honest, I don't know what's coming. Does anyone know about it?
I think it's just saying we need to get away from any sort of dodginess like Lewis Paratici.
Yeah,
anything that's
I do agree with that.
Push it away.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, massive shout out to everyone. Guys, up to 31 likes. Let's get that over 50 straight away. Come on, 18 more over 50 already, and there's 116 of you in here. So much love to every single one of you that is in here. I'm not having any of the Saver issues that he's having at the moment on StreamYard. Now I've said it, I'm probably going to. I mean, that's just normally how it works. Any questions? Okay, we're good. Someone's saying it's back. We're good. I think we're good. All right, then I'll talk to the front desk. Oh, I'm not sure. Any more questions? Guys, I want to ask a question here. Someone's saying that some people are saying the sound's broken, some saying it's okay. Are you guys hearing me okay?
I can hear you fine. It's just kind of in and out. What about me? Do I sound all right?
Yours is fine. Look, Steve, I'm going to put you in charge for a second. You're going to lead it's going to be the Steve TV for a second. I'm just going to sort out my mic quickly. So apologies for the mic problem. It's my actual mic that's the problem. I'll leave it with you for 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. Steve, leave the line.
Yeah, well, people, welcome to obviously Perchy TV with myself, who he invited. I can't see the comments because I'm on my phone, but welcome everybody to the show and whatnot. Just talking Spurs and some other general football. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe. Also to this guy, Coffee Company, if I'm not mistaken, is the name of your channel, Ben. Make sure to go like and subscribe to his channel. But yeah, honestly, for me, I've been watching, traveling the United States, watching Newcastle play. I've seen Newcastle play on, what was it? It was Sunday night in Philadelphia. Last night, I'm in Atlanta right now. Watched Newcastle play Chelsea at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So that's what I've been up to. So I haven't been in the loop completely. You sound better, Perch, by the way. Oh, no, you're on mute, actually.
Massive tech issues. I don't know what it's like now because it just booted me out of my audio. So I don't know what audio is coming through now. So I do apologize, everyone. If it's bad, I'll get it. I don't know what's happening. My whole computer is just completely scruffing up at the moment. It's connecting stuff. So apologies for the sound. I'll try and live with it. And if it's really bad again, I'll go back.
Huh. Man, we're having. It's weird. I haven't done a video in the past week or anything because I've obviously been on kind of vacation. But the StreamYard stuff, Casabo was having issues earlier. That's weird, man. But I hope all y'all can hear me and all that. I'm sure Perchy will sort it out eventually. But yeah. So let me know, people. Let me know what's going on at Spurs. I'm hearing that Joe Louis got federally indicted in New York. By a man named the federal prosecutor Damian Williams. That was something I heard about. That's pretty crazy. I can't lie. Apparently, you guys are in for Tosin Adebayo from Fulham. It seems like the Van de Ven stuff and the what's it called, Leverkusen center back, Burkina Faso international. What's his damn name? Tapsoba. Seems like that stuff has kind of gone quiet too. So. You know what? If I'm on,
I apologize. I'm back. Is it better now? Has it fixed itself?
Yes.
I'm so sorry, guys. My whole computer it basically every time it connects, I think there's some sort of loose connection somewhere. That what's happening is it cuts one cuts. It crashes everything. It just boots me out of StreamYard.
You know what it is, Perch? It's Levy. It's Levy hacking.
Yeah, see, I'm being silenced. That's the problem. I'm being silenced. Okay, we're back. Okay, we are back. Thank you very much, Steve. Much love to you. Thank you so much for jumping in and helping out there when I was having a bit of a meltdown there because the humidity is well hot. So when you got the light shining on you, yeah. I feel like you become under pressure and you're like, oh, crap, I'm live here. Yeah, but I think we're good. We're back and we're sorted. Okay, let's talk Tottenham. Let's talk Tottenham because we are a mess at the moment. We're a mess. We are crying out for a centre-half and we're not getting them. We're now linked with a striker who probably will end up at Chelsea and then probably end up at your team, Steve, at Strasbourg in the name of, I can't pronounce his name, Eli Wahi or something?
Wahi. Yeah.
Wahi. I put a video about him. Some of the stuff I've read about this fella is a bit questionable. He's got a questionable past. So that is the first one. And my thing is, but I looked at him. He's got good stats. Stats-wise, he looked good. I think he played last season, 33 games in the league, scored. He's 33 games, scored 19 goals, which is not a bad return. So yeah, what are your thoughts? I'm expecting you to understand a bit more about him. You watch a lot of football. Mental amounts of
Ligue 1 in particular. Ligue 1.
Yeah. So tell me, what do you know about this kid? Because obviously he's heavily linked with Chelsea, who, from what I read, also that they are their plan is to send him straight to Strasbourg on loan. So what do you know about him? And let me know because I'd like to know a bit more about him.
Sure. So for me, Eli Wahi, a little bit on the background of him and Montpellier in general. So Montpellier are over the years, they have been very offensively gifted. They've had Gaëtan Laborde, who's banged in a lot of goals for them. Teji Sevigny is one of the most gifted, underrated footballers in Europe. He is an absolute wizard. I'm telling you, he is a wizard on the ball. Montpellier fans genuinely, they call him their Zidane. That's how much they rate TG Sevigny. And Sevigny and Wahi have a very, very good connection and understanding with each other. Same thing with Wabi Khazri, obviously formerly of the Mackhams, but and also Nordan.
Oh, yeah.
Nordan scored a few goals as well with Wahi. So defensively, they're very offensively, like the attack, they're actually pretty damn solid. They just don't defensively. It's been a bit questionable at times. But for me, Wahi, things I like about him. He's rapid with both feet. He's very settled, composed. He can score all different types of goals. I think the kid's got it. The kid's got loads of confidence. And I've been talking about him for about a year and a half now. He really broke out this season in Ligue 1, though, like you said, with 19 goals. Very consistent
for
performer.
A 20-year-old, ain't bad. Good stats in a team, by the way, that is a mid-table team in France. I think we can all agree, no disrespect to Montpellier, but they're a mid-table team in mid-table side, and he's hitting nearly 20 goals, which I think is good return for a player of that level.
He scored 4. Level. He scored 4 against Olympique Lyonnais towards the end of the season away, and that was one of the best games of the season that not many people might know about. Lyon hosted Montpellier, 5-4 thriller. Lacazette had 3 or 4 goals as well. It was just back and forth, just end to end. It was like a UFC fight where the guys are just slug, back and forth. It was incredible to watch, to be honest.
So
a lot of games like that in Liga.
So here's the question. Obviously, we know he's heavily linked with Chelsea. I think they had a bid rejected yesterday by Chelsea. Is the Spurs rumours that are coming up now, are they just coming up because it might be that Montpellier are just basically trying to use Spurs as a platform? To go, do you know what? Leverage to go and say, well, look, there you go. Tottenham are in now. They're placing a bid today. What are you going to do about it? Could that be part of it, or could be the other question be about that actually Tottenham have gone, well, we can sneak in here now. This is like an opportunistic move.
It's definitely a mixture of both for me. I mean, for me, if I was a footballer and I was in a team like Montpellier, 19 years old, you want your agent to do the business for you, right? You want your agent to drum up as much interest as possible, throw out a few clickbait articles, get your name out there in the public, and you wanna what's it called? You wanna show off your product or your superstar kid in the making. You wanna really drum up interest. So for me, that could be a part of it. Absolutely. That's what agents should do. Agents should be always on the phone looking for even if you're not interested in moving. That's what an agent is paid to do. Find a club for you just in case you do want to move, so that it's not a last second, oh God, we have to find a club. No, the agents lay out the groundwork and the talks and whatnot for an anticipated move if they ever want it to happen. Like I said about TG Sevigny, he's been at Montpellier, and a lot of, over the years, he's been linked with Paris Saint-Germain. But he said himself, he always wants to stay at Montpellier. He was born in the area, a local supporter. He just wants to play for his boyhood club. But I guarantee you, his agent is still on the phone with other clubs being like, do you want Sevigny? Say, hey, Teji, I got an offer from this and this club. Do you want to go? I know you love staying at Montpellier, but do you want to go? No, thanks. I like staying here. Thank you, though. That's what you pay your agent to do. Right?
Agreed. Agreed. Mia, I'll come to you in just a second because welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. I want to pull this question up, by the way. Perchy, this is getting boring. Please bring Mr. Box Office in the debate to make the stream lively. I don't know what Alex. No disrespect, and I respect Alex massively. I'm not. Alex is always welcome onto my streams, by the way, and we do have debates. But are you basically saying you only want a debate to come on if there's an argument? Like, we're just talking, I apologise for the first sort of 10, 15 minutes. I had tech issues that caused a bit of an issue. So I do apologise for that. But, I just feel like there's no need for that. Big up Danny as well. Welcome on. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well.
You're right.
I also just want to pick up a couple more things here. Jim saying, "Are you still collecting for the charity?" I am. We've got 4 days left. 4 days left until it. So I will pop the Just Giving link into the chat as well, if people want to. And obviously, same with all super chats. Any donations that you do through super chat and all that lot, all of that money is going into it. And if I just confirm, where am I? Go to studios. Currently, at the moment, we are at 262 euros. 262 euros and 20 cents that will also be added onto the page at the moment. That's what it is at the moment. So obviously, any stuff coming in for the next few days from YouTube will be going to the charity. So I'm aiming to try and see if we can push it to 2,300. So we're nearly there. So
you know what, Perchy, on a serious note for a second, do you know what?
Yeah.
Like I said just on Savashine there, fair bloody play to you, yeah? Fair play.
Thank you.
I'd like to see some of the other people who make comments, whatever, and that sit there for 24 hours and try and do that. And that's all they got next to them is a Red Bull or coffee or something. And that fair play, to you. Fair play.
Yeah, no, listen, the charity meant a lot. I made it, and obviously people like Ben, Steve knew very much so early on when I started YouTube that when my uncle did pass, Ben more so, Ben was very much knew a lot of it for me, knew a lot about it. And was like, I said, as soon as I get monetized, I'm going to do it because it genuinely meant a lot. Exactly. So it meant a lot. And also, big up, Jim.
Also, big up to the aunties that made an appearance on it. Fantastic.
Big up the aunties.
Are fantastic, absolutely brilliant. Love
them.
Oh
yeah. My family. My family loved it. They were all popping on. Jim, I sent Kate the Instagram post of the guy's in. If he's in here watching, big up to people winning that. So I did send it. I sent you over the guy. So if you able to speak to him, if not, I can speak to myself. So you're more than welcome to on that side. Get a little bit of admin done out of the way. Yeah, there you go, guys. There's the link if you do want to. And I feel like on a stream, it's still working for me. I get worried that it's just crashing for me. Mia, welcome along. Hope you're doing well. How are you?
not too bad.
Where are you sitting now with the situation at the moment at Tottenham? Because we still haven't signed a centre half. Our pre-season tour is over, and we still not signed a centre half. Where are you at now with that?
Of course, I'm frustrated with the fact that even if we like to be even speaking about signing anybody else but a centre back, is like, why? Like, that is not a priority right now. I'm frustrated that we haven't just said to Tapsoba, this is the money, are we going to pay it or we're not? Like, and then just either walk away and move on. You know, it just feels like these continuous talks are silly. We've now been told that someone else could also come in for Tapsoba. So I feel like that we need to just basically say, this is how much we're willing to pay. Do you accept it? And then and move on if they're not, because we're just wasting time on a centre back that could end up getting snapped up by someone else, and another one that we want might get snapped up by somebody else. So it doesn't make any sense why we're continuing these talks with him when it doesn't look like we're going to come to an agreement.
Yeah. No. Mia, I agree. I totally agree. I think we're just at that point now where we're getting ourselves closer and closer to the end of the window. Well, the start of the season, sorry. And we're still going to be with the likes of an Eric Dyer, Davinson Sanchez, Jaffa Tanganga, Ben Davies at centre half, which is a concern for me. And we need to get someone.
Yeah, no, we do. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just getting a bit like frustrating to why are we just not moving on if we can't get Tapsoba, as much as we all want Tapsoba. And either we pay the money or we don't, move on to somebody else, because now we're just wasting, it feels like we're just wasting time, and we haven't got that time because we haven't got that long until we start the season. So it's like now it's crucial that we sort this and we sort it out.
Agreed. Angelo here saying that Van de Ven is close now. Based on what? Has anyone seen?
I've not seen anything, to be honest. It's a disaster. It's a disaster.
Man. If we are, then fair enough. But I don't think we are. I don't think we are. I don't think we're we're close at all. Yeah, I mean, this is a key one here. Am I right? I think we haven't put in a single bid. From what I believe, no. I think that's the worry, isn't it? We've not even bid for one. We've had personal terms agreed with Van de Ven for a very long time, and we haven't even put a number down. That is a massive concern, in my opinion. Massive concern. I agree. Massively agree with that. And then the thing is, you've also got to remember as well, you've got to remember these players are human. So when we talk about the centre, he's been sat there for 3 weeks with personal terms agreed, and then nothing happens. And then you must sit there and go, these aren't that interested in me. I don't want to waste my time anymore. And then we go and we'll probably end up, he'll probably go, well, no, if they want me now, then they're going to have to pay me 10 grand, 20 grand more. If you want me now, you've sat around waiting. Exactly.
That's something I didn't like. I don't like that we've kept Van de Ven hanging on. You know, it's almost like in a relationship when you don't know whether you want to stay with the girl or the boy or whether you're going to date, and whether you're going to stay with them or not, and you just keep them dangling on. You know, you think you're like semi-interested in them. You give them a kiss, you send them good night messages, but you don't know whether you like really want to be with them. And it's just not fair, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's not fair on the player to dangle them around like that.
Yeah, no, I agree, guys, and this is a key one here, though. This is what I was saying. Though, if centre backs aren't in place for the Barca game, then we really are a joke club. I think that ship sailed. I think centre backs have to be in for the Shakhtar game. If we haven't got Dan, you're spot on. They should have been here at the start of pre-season. The fact is we're now at this stage where they've still not been sorted. Massive worry for me. And if centre backs aren't in place for the Barca game, it's a really job. But I think Shakhtar, we need at least one in by then. Big up Donovan Davis for the super chat. Much love to you, mate. Big up, you're a real one. I see you on everyone's channel, spreading your opinion, and I love it. Just read an article from the Athletic. Van de Ven seems to be off. They want $30 million. I'm assuming that's euros. Yeah. But also really don't seem to want to sell. But why would you now? They feel like they're being played about at the moment. I feel like they're being. If I was Wolfsburg, and I'd be sitting there going, "Nah, why should I bother now? Why should I?" But anyway, much love genuinely for the super chat. Thank you very much, guys. Obviously, super chats are massively welcome, and all that money that you sent in there goes straight to charity. It's going to charity. 4 more days of the charity donation. So obviously, super chats, and if you want to put any donations in the Just Giving page, we're going to be pushing out for the last few more days. Van de Ven hasn't been taken on tour and he's waiting for the move. Exactly, Paul. But the fact is, we're still here not talking about it. It's terrible.
Is it going to happen?
Out with players' lives. It's unacceptable.
I agree. According to EchoShare, we are no closer to Van de Ven, I agree, than we were 4 weeks ago. That's a shambles. That's a suggestion. It's off. I agree, Lee. I think, do you know what? But do you know what the biggest worry is? If Van de Ven was off the tables and it's done, why have we not gone and got number 2 in, number 3 in, number 4? Heck, I don't even care anymore. Just sign a centre half. I'm that frustrated with it.
We need it so badly, and
I agree.
You just think. I mean, the only one who I shouted go get first was Jamie Maddison. Why? Because he was on the market.
Yeah.
And it had to be taken. We should at least have one by now, because by the time we do get them, they've had no training together. They don't know each other. They don't know the system, and they're going to be playing league games to get to know each other. Whereas they should already half know each other. It's frustrating.
Absolutely spot on, Dan, and absolutely spot on. I just want to say, guys, before I read this out from Kate, big up to you as well. Come on, 6 more likes to get to 50, guys. Really tight on the likes at the moment. Everyone seems to be saying it. Come on, guys. There's 120 of you in it and 44 likes. Let's get that like counter up to, let's get that over 60, 70. Come on, guys. It's a click of a button. Let's do that. And obviously, we've got a few subscribers. So much shout out to I think we've had 6 subscribers today. So come on. Can we get up to, I want to try and see if we can push to 1,400 by the end of the weekend, which would be great, which is about 38. So that'll be much love. If you haven't in here, please like, please subscribe. It does a world of good for all YouTubers. It genuinely does. It helps push our content out to other people. Genuinely, much love if you can do that. That will be amazing. Who should I go to? Stephen, Ben, you guys haven't spoken to it. Big up. I was going to say, we're a joke of a club anyway. Van der Ven should have been out of the question now, but people are still praising this window. I agree. Wake up, people, for God's sake. I agree. And Jim has also gone, Perchy, let's not get carried away. Let's just pray so we can pray we have them at the beginning of the season. But listen, I think, do you know what? Having them at the start of the season just puts us in a bigger problem as well. Yeah. Not a different problem, not a bigger problem, a different problem. Because then we're going to have the reason, well, they need to settle in. We need these players to settle in. And then what? That's 3 months down the line. If we got them in at the start of the window, that settle-in process is already started. That for me is the key one, massively the key one.
100%.
It's just frustrating.
They're learning on the job. They're learning on the job.
But it happens all the time.
Even in my line of work as being a barista, you never learn on the job. You have a training session. You invite them in with the head guy. You have a bloody training session to make sure they know what all the drinks are. Right, this is how we work in this business. This is how this works. This is how this works. This is what we do. No other business works like Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. It is unacceptable. How can we have our main target on the job?
Sorry, I was just going to say another.
Go, Steve, jump in, mate.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, I was just going to say, Ben, great example. Another example away from Spurs that you can look at. We brought in Sandro Tonali, and I watched him 2 out of the 3 games. I wasn't in Glasgow for the Rangers friendly. Against Rangers, he was pretty decent. In Philadelphia against Aston Villa, he struggled a bit. And then last night, he started with Joelinton and a young 17-year-old kid, Lewis Miley, who's could be a breakout player possibly. He's done very well in both the games that I've seen in person here in the States. And you know what? I'm fine with Tonali struggling because I would rather him struggle a bit in the preseason games where it doesn't mean bugger all. And then for the Premier League games, he has an idea of who he's playing with, who his center back partnerships are, how, the relationship he'll have with Joelinton and with Bruno Guimaraes and whatnot. So he hasn't been extraordinary so far by any means. I thought actually Miley last night against Chelsea, you could argue, I think for me, he performed a bit better than Tonali. But my point is that Tonali is at least getting the chance to adapt to the team and whatnot in a preseason. He's getting used to things. So you guys don't have that opportunity. Yes, you do with Manor Solomon and Madison, but your biggest problem by a million miles is defense. I talked about it on Sava's show briefly about, how did Newcastle United go from, imminent relegation about a year and a half ago to now we're in the UEFA Champions League, Carabao Cup final and whatnot. We established a back line and a spine. Pope, Botman, Trippier. Those 3 signings have meant the absolute world to the team on the pitch, 100%. So, that's just how, hey, under Mike Ashley, we were doing the things you guys were doing, haggling around for prices. We actually did that with Luka Modric, funny enough. He was at the hotel in, I believe, what? When did you guys sign Modric?
2007, 2008. 2008 was, no, it was 2009. 2008, 2009 season.
Yeah.
It was after the Carabao Cup win.
After the Carabao Cup win, just after the 2008 Euros.
Right. So, funny story, real quick. Mike Ashley didn't sign Modric and Lee Charnley, the former sporting director at Newcastle, because he wasn't good enough, and it was a difference of a few million euros. So that's the kind of stuff you got. It's cutting corners because, it's, budget. It's a bunch of crap, honestly. Like,
agreed.
Joe, I think the most... Sorry, go on.
No, jump in.
I was going to say, what's the most frustrating thing is that the simple deals should be just simple. So with the one with Van der Ven, if we really want him, we should just literally just get him, not worry about tap sober money. Just think, right, we're going to get Van der Ven in, get him in, because then he can obviously come in and be within the team. And if we get tap sober, we can't get him, we'll just move on to another one. But I don't know why we're not making like the simple deals should be simple, and we just make them less simple, and it is frustrating. But me, I'm somebody, as I've always said, like I'm not going to get myself. I've got other things in my life that are more stressful than worrying about Tottenham centre backs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get overly stressed. But don't get me wrong, I'm frustrated with the situation. I do get frustrated. I think people get it wrong because maybe I don't go crazy and shout about it. That I'm not annoyed, but I am annoyed. But like I say, I just don't I get kind of more frustrated more than anything, if I'm honest.
No,
the most frustrating thing about this, repeated it a million times, it's not a big deal. People make excuses for us. Oh, but what about our debts? What about this? What about that? Yeah, we raked in over 430 million, and after debts, everything paid, we still had 330 million in the bloody bank, and we can't get together a 35 million deal from Wolfsburg. They should just be able, they could just slap that on the table and make it. Now, if the deal was 70, 80 million for one player, I totally get it. But transfers really aren't that hard when they're that average or small. And people just keep making excuse after excuse for the club. And it does get frustrating.
While I'm obviously kind of like, I get that. When you look at, we were actually minus £50 million when it comes to the actual money. But I do get, we've got money set aside.
When it comes to 2023.
Hold on a second. Let me just finish that. I didn't interrupt you. But what I'm trying to say is that we've got that money in our budget to spend for centre backs. So there is zero excuse, is what I was going to say.
Tottenham Hotspur Football Club is the only club where they talk about budgets, spreadsheets, profit and loss. You don't see Newcastle fans ever saying, but we've lost this. Oh, we've got to pay back the debt on the stadium. No, we need the football player. Buy the football player. We're the only club that behaves like this. It makes me sick, to be honest. I know you can always have a logical argument, but the fact of the matter is, we are losing more money by not finishing the Champions League because we're not winning games because our defence is so poor, and our defence has been poor for 5 years since Toby Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen left.
Yeah, because we get so much money from the other side.
Full profit and loss. We're losing football matches, which means we're losing money. So,
but that's not the business big income.
Money, you've got to speculate to accumulate. If we had a proper defence and we didn't concede 63 goals last year, with the amount of goals we scored, we'd be finishing in the top 4. We would be.
Yeah.
And then
you
get
the business,
£1 million from the Champions League money. That's a spreadsheet I can talk about. We cannot defend, therefore we're losing money because we're not finishing Europe. And
football is not the company's biggest income.
But listen, I think the key bit here is this is the key bit here. What I want to say, because I've got some questions. I was just sort of slightly directing because I've only got 20 odd minutes left. So the key bit I have here, the biggest problem we have got is the lack of transparency and the lack of understanding when it comes to how we operate. We operate terribly. We operate awfully. And it's just a slow, draining process. The process is draining, and it gets so tiresome. We're so slow to do anything at this football club. I just wanted to sort of move on quickly because we've got a load of questions that came in. First was coming from Jim. Question for Perchy: did you buy a computer from Spurs? No, it's not. It's just a laptop. It's just my laptop. And big up from Juicy over on the Twitch Army. Steve, would you consider getting a mullet like Waddle? Go on, do it. Do it for charity, Steve-O. You're muted, mate.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've had a few different hairstyles over the years. I used to have braided hair when I had a girlfriend that she used to braid my hair. I've had short hair before. So why not? I'll probably end up with it one day. You never know.
Yeah. Fair enough. There you go. Thank you very much. We'll jump in. We got Paul O'Connor's gone in with. Do you guys think the mess with Lewis will have buyers circling around the Sharks to buy the club? Do you know what, Paul? I think it's a good question actually on that. I'll answer this one. Get the panelists' view on it. I think at the moment it's very much at the state of it really all depends at the price tag, because we're going to be valued up here. So you're going to go and need to get, because when people think about it, we're probably worth about 6 billion. 4 or 5 billion gets you at the table. 6 billion is probably going to be the value. Maybe you might have to go pay 7. There's not many people that, let alone have 7 billion, let alone, and then have more so to invest into the club. So we have to be very sensible. You can get someone that has. There you go, mate.
Oh, I was just gonna make a quick joke. If we're looking at Levy and looking at the prices he wants for the crap players, just imagine how much he wants for your club with that stadium.
Yeah.
Oh boy, he is gonna try to milk that for every penny it's worth.
Well, if you look into it, we're actually only valued at near to 3 billion.
No, we're not.
So,
no, we're not. No, we're not. We are valued nearly as much as Liverpool and Man U. We are valued at over 6 billion.
I looked it up last night.
I'll bring
I was talking to someone about it.
Over
so
6 billion.
I think
The
that's
reason
what
we are
Levy
valued
wants.
for that, no. The reason we are valued for that much is because of the income off the side of the football. That's what I was saying earlier.
No, I get that.
Football isn't ENIC's biggest income. They get everything from every other side of it.
Yeah.
I keep saying to everyone, the amount of money that stadium brings in just wipes the football money aside. Whoever comes and buys Tottenham, they're not buying Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. They are buying everything that comes with it.
And that's what I was going to say.
Stadium, everything that comes into it.
All of
the
this stuff
hotels next to it. The Formula One, the NFL. If you think about it, whoever comes in and buy us, if they did, they've got quite a simple job. As all they've got to do is put a team together.
So
that's what they've got to do. We are worth so much.
I just
on
looked
the football side.
According to Forbes, we're worth $2.8 million.
That's just the football club.
We're not worth 2.8 billion. You mean?
Yeah, billion. Sorry,
remember when you're buying Tottenham Hotspur is one company. Then you've got Tottenham Hotspur Stadium PLC. Then you've got this company that goes, because you cannot sell Tottenham Hotspur without selling Tottenham Hotspur. Because remember, Tottenham Hotspur don't actually own their own stadium. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is actually owned under a separate company.
No, but you're right and wrong in the same conversation. They do. The football, it's all done as like a pyramid, as you've got to treat the business is done like a pyramid. There is one company that owns trickles down with all these other businesses. Yeah, they're not exactly the football club doesn't own the stadium, but the owners of the club own the stadium. So we have to when we say that, we have to be very specific in what we say. So yeah, you're right. We have a lot of our stuff is all done in different entities, because I work in entities. Is what I do within my job.
You're forgetting the property company. You're forgetting the people that have just bought the top. All this spread over loads of companies.
But will they sell?
Yeah, right as well for you.
But will they sell that? That's what I'm saying. Will they sell? But they might not sell the property part.
No,
they would have to.
They would have to. They would have to. This is what I said.
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
This is what I said to you. Who in the? I mean, let's look at it on a common sense sort of thing. So Tottenham are worth 2.5 billion, a club that rakes in the third most money in sport, and more than any other team in the Premiership. They're only worth 2.5 billion. No, not a chance.
But that's what I mean.
It's the whole lot that has to get
it's the
bought,
package, isn't it?
Exactly.
And the thing is they will have to sell the whole lot. That's the key thing here. If we were ever to be sold, they would never be allowed. For example, you've got to bear in mind, the way you've got to look at it is you've got to remember it. You've got to think what the buyer's got to know what they want. The buyer will sat at the table and go, okay, I want to buy this, that, and the other. Oh, well, we'll sell you the football club, but we're not selling you the stadium. Well, then we're. Do you know what I mean? That's why the value of the club then becomes nothing. If everyone got the stadium,
then there's no money to be made.
Then there's no money. You need the stadium to basically revenue drive, and that's the key. But I think people. It is agreed. It is one big package. I absolutely agree. Last question before we carry on. If you get our two top centre halves, is this a good window, or has the ship sailed? And the best case is just pure relief. Dad, do you know what? Do you know what makes it a good window if you get these players in at the right time? I think getting them in now, he's just panicking. And maybe we'll be absolutely panicking getting these players in now. We have to. Listen, I still want us to. A good window. Do you know what? It's a key point here. A good window. When everyone sort of says, oh, what's a good and what's a bad window? For me, a good window is getting in whoever you want to get in early and settled.
Mm-hmm.
So your players are settled into the team. They know their role. They've met the manager. They've met their centre-half partner, if we're using centre-backs as an example. They've met the goalkeeper. They've integrated. They've got friends within the club. I think people miss that bit. People play Football Manager and FIFA way too much. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There's nothing wrong with that. But people miss the human side of it. People forget these are lads that are humans. These are young, under 25-year-olds. And bear in mind, like, think about it. A lot of us are older than that, like in that sense. And we think about it as us as 25-year-olds moving from Germany to England with no one, going, well, I've got to go and do it myself now. It's not easy, but you do that stuff early. Listen, players do it. And that's, by the way, that's not me trying to make an excuse and stuff, but players do that. But you notice the ones that come in early are usually nine times out of 10 are the ones that normally succeed. They've had time to develop at the club. They don't have that period of, I need to learn it. You never normally get them with, oh, well, they need a season to bed in. If you get them in the beginning of the pre-season, they'll be bedded in very quickly. I think that's the key one for me.
Getting that cheeky little buy at the end is always good. Don't get me wrong, yeah?
Like, come
up and snatch it up at the end, but you want your priorities as soon as possible. Look at how Man U always used to do it. Bang, bang, bang.
Brilliant. Man United were the masters of it.
And then other teams, I mean, the way Arsenal have just gone about it, it was sorted. It just took a bit longer to go through on how it was going to be paid, but it was all sorted, and it was all sorted the amount they was going to pay. It was just, they was coming into, how are we going to pay it as such? But it was done. It was a done deal. And we just can't get ours together. We just can't seem to do more than one thing at a time, if we can do anything at a time. They need time to settle with each other and play football. Starting that at the start of the season is terrible.
Yeah, and I just want to pick this comment quickly apart, and we'll carry on with it. Mark Robinson said, under 25-year-olds on 100 grand a week. I look at that and go, but this is what happens as we dehumanize them in the sense that, well, they've got 100 grand a week, so they'll be absolutely fine. Moving countries to a country they've not lived in before on their own, they've got money, but the one thing they will need is they'll need friends around them. They need to make friends at the football club. That becomes their friendship group. They might be mates with Romero. I'm just picking random names out of Emerson, all this lot. These might be their mates and stuff. They start building friendships with them. You look at the players that have been there for a bit now. They've got friendship groups. You want that, and this is the bit I think. And nothing against you, Mark. I do get your point to this bit, but I sit back and go, I feel like as football fans, we forget that side of things. We forget the human nature.
They're not robots.
They're not robots. Agreed. And that,
they don't get the sympathy because they get paid so much. Yeah, and I get that side. Well, it's part of the package. It comes with a deal. If you want to be paid that much, you've got to put the stuff out. But at the end of the day, they're not robots. And in this day and age, people are so bloody sensitive. It's even harder for them now because people are just that much more sensitive. They're not as mentally strong as it used to be with a player coming over here, whatever, and that. People are a lot weaker in general in this day and age. But they're not they're not robots.
But do you know what? Like, I think back then I do get your point. I think back then it was different. Like, we never used to have the coverage that we used to get on football back then.
Social media.
So I'm speaking for myself in the sense of I'm 30 at the moment. I'm going to be 31 soon. But even like 10 years ago when I was I was 20, you never had all this. You never had this. Even when social media was here, you never had this 24/7 constant information We could get information all the time. Like, I just get really annoyed. But what we do is we see this and we just instantly go, boom, there you go. Well, he's not good enough. He's been here 5 minutes. Give him a moment. Like, and big up Full Ball. Why hasn't Ndom Bad Boy featured in any games? Injured, Full Ball. Your best friend Ndombele is injured. You love him. You absolutely love him, Full Ball.
Yeah.
And you've also been, how many kits does Danny have? I think Danny needs to do a kit thing with Steve. I think that'd be amazing. Dan has a new kit every time he's on stream. I love it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I've got
That's a good
couple of
idea.
Borussia Dortmund ones, Barcelona, Real Madrid. I've got several Tottenham shirts, Inter Milan. I just like my football shirts to sit down in. They're comfortable when you're just indoors chilling out.
Yeah.
I'm desperate to win one of Sava's giveaways so he can buy me one of those really cool retro Fiorentina kits that you can get.
I still can't get the bloody kit I want for the price I want, and that's the Inter Milan one of Inter Milan 2021. You know, the zigzag one. But everywhere I look for it, it's 80 quid everywhere I look for it, and I just can't. I've been
the Batistuta Fiorentina jersey with Nintendo. It's in the top 3 kits of all time. I love that kit.
Yeah, I want to get
everything about that kit is just that chef's kiss.
Let me just get on this super chat from Mr. Box Office. Big up to you, mate. With a good window comes a good view, right, bruv? Yeah. Big up, mate. Yeah, no. Well, exactly. So good. I like a good super chat. Thank you very much. Much love. There we go. The voice of reason, Mr. Box Office. Yeah. Perch is right. Every aspect of football is microanalyzed nowadays. I think it's because we're in the age of constant content producers. Oh, is that Tyree? You're a content producer as well, so don't try. I know what you're saying. No, but I do agree with you. Actually, I do agree with you. I think we do. We microanalyze everything in football nowadays. Whereas before, you used to just watch a game of football. Now it's you're analysing the data of every single player.
Technical. It's so technical now.
You're looking at everything. We have data for everything. But what we have now is whereas that data before was still there. That data had never disappeared. Wasn't there. It was still there. We never saw it. We have it in our hands.
You have to come up on the screen, everything.
Whilst it's going, you can sit there and look at the statistics on everything, on a player, how many passes they've made, how many they've missed pass. You get live data now. We have so much in numbers now. And I agree. I think that's where it all comes from. It all stems from it. We see enough of it now.
Do you know what else it is? It's the fact that, seen for transfers, back in the day, you'd read in the paper about a transfer, you'd go down the pub with your mates and discuss it. And there wasn't all this 24-hour analysis. So all you'd know about transfers is what you'd see in the papers. That would be it.
Yeah,
you didn't know anything else.
Teletext.
Teletext, good old teletext. Refreshing the old teletext. That's it. That's all you knew. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
It's true. It is true. I mean, it is so.
I think I would get bring back teletext on here.
It's so
and Bamboozle.
Supervised now,
I used to love playing Bamboozle
on the pitch. I mean, a player could bloody fart on the pitch, and you'd probably see that bit of heat come out of him on the pitch or whatever. It's mental the way it is now.
For me, with data and stuff like that, I like to use it. However, you guys know me. I actually watch all these leagues. Like, people who don't watch a Bundesliga team and they just look at the guy's stats, for me, that you're not getting the complete picture. How do you know what his temperament's like? How do you know if he's a good communicator? How do you know if he's a leader? What's he like in clutch moments? What's he like when they go a man down? What's he like when all the intangible stuff that the data can't cover, like your character, determination, grit, perseverance, whatever human quality that is shown on a football pitch that players have, that kind of stuff can't be quantified into data.
That's what I was going to say.
You need to see it.
But Steve, you're bang on. Do you know what?
Data, but I want to see it also.
Steve, no, do you know what, Steve? You've hit the nail on the head there. You nail and what you need is a good balance. It's data-driven analysis, but humans and actual personal. If any of you watches Ben Foster's podcast, Cycling GK, I urge people to watch a lot of his stuff on YouTube and his podcast that he has with what he does, because he gets in pros in and stuff, but he talks from a really open and honest standpoint as a professional. He talks about do you know what players do? I didn't know this until I watched it. Again, listen, if you have a chance, go and watch it. One of my favorite footballing podcasts out there, because he's honest and he says it as a player. One thing he says is, do you know what they do? Is he has contacts. So his ex-managers will get on the blower to him and go, you work with so-and-so at this club. What's he like? Is he a good trainer? Is he a good lad? Is he easy to work with? Blah, blah, blah. They go,
What's he like when he's on the bench compared to starting? What's
he like? He's not a prima donna. He's not this. He's not that. No, he's a decent lad. He works his socks off in training. But brilliant, thank you. Sign him. And he said also, but players do the same. He said players will get on the blower. He said other players that I used to bet that I'm moving to insert club, and he said it actually because it is a good one, because he said it because he was going to join Newcastle. Very widely reported now. It was very widely reported. Ben Foster, when they got the injury to, I can't remember who it was, and they brought in, and they brought in Karius. Yep. They were actually going to they wanted Ben Foster, and Ben Foster was going to sign for Newcastle. Very much, it was very much, and he broke his own story. And he said, the first thing I did was, I saw so player on the phone. I got on the phone and went, what days do you get off? What days do you do this? What days do you do that? He said every manager has different ways of running. He said some managers will have this, and said it is such a good insight on it. And if it's anything people do, go and listen to his stuff. He's such a nice bloke, and he speaks really well about football, and he gets you the inside analysis and stuff. Now he's at Wrexham, he's loving life, and he's actually gone. He came out of time and went back there.
You know another really good YouTuber I like. Sorry if I cut you off, Perch. I tend to do that sometimes. You know another YouTuber? He's not a pro footballer. He didn't used to be. James Lawrence Alcott. I like.
Yeah, great. I like him.
Things. He'll bring you
really
the
nice bloke. Really nice
but
bloke.
Tactically, that guy understands the game very, very well. He speaks very well. I love his post-match breakdowns on the big Champions League or Premier League or Euros or whatever. That guy's footballing brain and the way he can translate, it's brilliant.
Guys, I want to just say, breaking news: Daily Mail claim Perisic has been told to leave, and so brilliant. Thank you very much, Ruth, for that, guys. I'm going to have to end it because Kate is live right now, and it is 2:00, and I have to go and do it, but. I have already redirected you to go over to Kate. So go over there. I want to hashtag Perchy Raid over there. Go over there. And if you haven't, go and subscribe to my channel. Go and subscribe to the Coffee Company, Spurs Between the Lines. Go and subscribe to Strasbourg Steve as well. This guy puts in the most weirdest content, but it's quite good, actually. I like it.
Is it as weird as the Coffee Company?
No, but he watches clubs from like Armenia play football. It's quite interesting. I kind of like it. I sit there. It's quite calming listening, just watching about players I've never heard of. Guys, go over there, subscribe to all these wonderful people. And guys, go over to Kate's channel. You're going to go, you don't have to do anything. Stay where you are. It will take you straight there. On that note, guys, thank you so much. Big up Danny as well. Sorry, mate. Thank you for coming on. Always a pleasure. Always welcome on.
Thanks, man.
Guys, thank you so much. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.